Number 1. SNSD Taeyeon. If you've been a K-pop fan since the early days, you'll know for sure how the wave of hatred of criticism was coming like a storm at Taeyeon all the time. Even until 2019, there was still an anti-fan who ran a darn long rant about her issues with Taeyeon, and concluded by saying that she still hated Taeyeon, though she was obviously a good singer, and none of the bad rumors about her were validated. Even when you take an objective view, you'll see the most popular reasons for anti-fans to attack her was that she was extremely successful and she couldn't clarify all the rumors surrounding her since the early days. After her vocal capabilities got more and more recognition, she joined the subunit of SNSD, and soon enough, the hate started to grow. Since people heard through the grapevine that she was the one to push Jessica out of the lineup and pick Sohyun at the last minute, things were so bad that at one point, when she attended a fan meeting as a member of Taetiso, an anti-fan had really put in tons of effort just to come there to make her cry. While it remained unclear what the person told her that day, all we know was that she cried for a whole minute despite Tiffany's effort to cheer her up. After that Taetiso story, the number of anti-fans coming at her was even worse, after she got caught up in a rumor of being in a relationship with Baekhyun. On social media, people kept referring to her as a sly fox, and always tried to appear innocent. Even when she tried to save everything by breaking up with Baekhyun, some still came to her IG, calling her out for being an intention. One hater even went overboard to wish that someone should end Taeyeon's life, because she simply didn't have the right to date Baekhyun. Number 2. Red Velvet's Yeri. While it's often seen that the Magni of the group is the most favorite member, things were in total contrast in the case of Red Velvet's Yeri. Because she joined the group when all the previous members already had an established fan base, many people just couldn't accept the fact that their favorite act was no longer OT4. And you know what's even worse? While this wave of hatred seemed to only last for a while, this actually became the root of all the hate she later received.
What?
As Red Velvet was already a package group with Wendy being the vocal goddess, Seulgi a dance machine, Irene being a visual queen, and Joy famous as a persona of a variety show, expectations for Yeri started to build up tremendously, as people believed that she must have been so extraordinary that SM Entertainment couldn't leave Red Velvet alone without Yeri's presence. And you know what happened when people demanded a 16-year-old girl to excel at every aspect that the 4 members of Red Velvet were already famous for? Of course she failed, and anti-fans took that as a perfect excuse to throw hands at her. First, they picked on her vocals, calling Yeri a Pikachu tone-deaf self, and then criticizing her dancing skills, saying that she could only dance half as good as the group, and was dragging the whole Red Velvet down because of her existence. On top of that, Yeri was also believed to put off many people for her attitudes and unnecessary scandal surrounding her, despite being the youngest member of the group. Not over yet. For literally her whole time with Red Velvet, Yeri has been referred to as a fatty, a box, nasty chunky monkey with a pinched face, and many, many worse nicknames, just because of her natural body shape. Number 3. EXO's Chanyeol. While he's one of the most well-rounded members of EXO when checking all the boxes of an ideal idol, singing, dancing, composing, playing multiple musical instruments, he still topped the chart called Which Member Do You Not Like the Most?, where more than 24% of 386 people voted for him. Well, you're probably twisting your brain to think of some reasons to hate him. Anti-fans can already find a pool of them, with many reasons that you may have never heard about. The first and most mentioned reason for this hate came down to his often making fun of people. Actually, it's not really people that he made fun of, since he just joked that Kai's skin had the color of black coffee. If you're a boy, I bet you know for sure how you and your friends always pick up on. And that's a normal thing between guys. However, some people just don't buy it. Ironically enough, when Chanyeol tried to build a friendlier image, some immediately called him out for being so cap and inauthentic. On top of that, because he's quite loud and outspoken on variety shows, some also deemed this as a sign of arrogance, and criticized him for that. Number 4. aespa's Karina. While a soon exposure will often help a pre-debut star gain more fans, like the way Nayeon appeared with Jin Young got 7, things didn't go that way for Karina. The amount of hate was so great, different from any idols on the list. She was already hated on before officially debuting as a member of aespa, and there was even a thread about how she became the most hated trainee in K-pop history. Things all started after someone leaked the text between Karina and her friends, where she was said to call BTS's RM and Jimin ugly, complain about SM Entertainment, and reveal insider information about aespa. Then the hate just kept building up after she was caught up in more scandals like bullying, being biased by SM, and finally, how the video of Kai and her dancing together was still posted despite the hate she threw at EXO. As a result of all these things, comments calling Karina a snake flooded her individual photo teaser on Instagram and Facebook. Any picture with her face received a massive amount of humiliating reactions, like the laughing and angry ones. As the hype about Karina being a dance machine had already been so great before her official debut, expectations about her talents in dancing also built up because SM promoted her like crazy in this aspect. And guess what? Similar to the case of Yuri, people were let down because of their unrealistic hopes, and they ended up criticizing Karina for her capabilities. A thread on Reddit calling her out for being a bad dancer of SM, but received too much promotion compared to other members, got up to 305 upvotes, and labeled as a too popular opinion on the platform. Of course, the comment section was filled with criticism, and at one point, Winter's name was also brought to the conversation to compare with Karina. Obviously, someone was trying to ignite an unnecessary war between Karina and Winter's fans by using Winter to downgrade Karina. Number 5. (G)I-DLE Soyeon. Similar to EXO's Chanyeol, Soyeon is also among the most well-rounded idols of K-pop. But going hand in hand with that title is, of course, a lot of hate. Unnecessary hate, to be exact. The first and most popular reasons accounting for this hate point to how greedy a leader Soyeon has been, because instead of letting all the girls get involved in the production process, she has been doing it solo for ages, and only gave the final product, which nothing can be changed or rearranged, to everyone. On top of that, as she has been in charge of most of the songs of (G)I-DLE, the fact that she frequently got the most line and screen time distribution also got on the nerves of many people, because they believe she was trying to steal all the spotlight. As a K-pop fan, you probably see how (G)I-DLE has built their name with a fair amount of hits produced by Soyeon. Even with all those achievements, the producing ability of Soyeon was still criticized, since some believe that all the songs she composed were repetitive, lame, and were literally written on the same old beat, with just some changes to the lyrics. And can you believe how a candidate for Unpretty Rap Star was dissed and called out for not being able to rap? Yes, that's exactly what happened to Soyeon. And until now, she's even said to have a rap flow as ugly as her visuals. Basically, whatever Soyeon excels at will be brought up and labeled bad and overrated. In the eyes of anti-fans, Soyeon's bad vibe was so huge that even when Hyun-ah had reggae hair, it was still Soyeon's fault. Taking an objective view, do you find any of these reasons justifiable for the immense amount of hate that these idols receive? Comment down below to share your thoughts with us. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to BBoss TV, since we'll be back with hotter tea to sip. Thank you for watching.